lovelies. So today I thought I'd talk to you about something that's really been bugging me over the last few days, and that is the constant harassment that seems to be going on out there when you take your dog out from off-lead dogs. I don't think I've had a walk in the last couple of weeks where one or other of the dogs hasn't had a negative interaction with a larger breed dog that's come pounding over. Now there seems to be like an epidemic almost of people that just let their dogs off lead and then just don't interact with their dog again, don't get involved with them, just completely disengage from them, and their dog is just wandering off all over the place, introducing themselves to people and other dogs, etc. Now that's fine if the other dog that they run up to is okay with that. The majority of dogs actually don't want those kind of interactions. And when you've got, it's all gone guys, when you've got a really small breed dog, they particularly don't want a larger breed dog pounding across the field at them. It's going to make them bark. It's going to push their arousal level up, because for your dog, for a smaller breed dog, they are going to ask themselves, what does this mean for me? And because they don't know this dog, they know nothing about this dog, they're going to assume it's bad and they're going to drop into avoidance. Now, avoidance is our barking, lunging, making lots of noise to get that other dog to stay away. Now, because it's your dog that's making the noise, people just assume it's your dog that's being aggressive, when in fact what they're trying to do is defend themselves. So it's kind of really unfair, and it's really annoying, because the more these larger breeds come pounding up to your dog, the more it chips away at their confidence, and then the more reactive it makes them, because they start to worry about going out for their walk before they even get out on the walk. Now, it also just seems to be that people just completely disengage from their dogs. They go out into the park or the field and they let the dog off lead, and they're not engaging with the dog in any way whatsoever. All they're there for is to follow their dog around and pick up its poo. The dog isn't checking back in with them. It isn't engaging with them. It's just off doing whatever it wants. Now, like I said, I'm all for dogs off lead. I think dogs should be allowed to be off lead. It's a right for them to be able to run, and it's a right for them to be able to, exercise themselves. But when a dog is off lead, it needs certain skills, and one of the most important skills it needs is a good proximity zone. It needs to stay with their owner within that proximity zone. On top of that, it needs to be able to recall. Now, quite often people focus on recall when that isn't the most important one. The most important one is this proximity zone, where your dog doesn't leave your side unless you give them the okay to do that. But so often people just let their dogs off lead, and they actually can't do any of that. The dog has no interest in staying with the owner. There's no value in staying with their owner. The value is in the environment. The value is with investigating other dogs and is running off. Now, not only is that really dangerous for their dog, it's causing mayhem for dogs that don't want these interactions. It's infuriating. And there are some precautions that you can take, the things that you can do with your dog to lessen the impact of that. But still, at the end of the day, when you have a small dog and they're constantly being bombarded by larger breeds, that it is just going to start to damage their confidence. So yeah, there's what to do about it. It's, unless you're prepared to hire a field. Now, if you're in the UK, hiring a field is quite common. You can hire a field for about £10 an hour. I don't know if that's the same in other countries, but you shouldn't have to do that. I like to take my dogs to the beach. They love being on the beach. They love playing on the beach, but it just becomes I can't think what the word is. It just becomes a free-for-all of worrying about other dogs coming up and getting in your Chihuahua's face. I don't know what the answer is. I will pick my dogs up if I think they're in danger. I don't have a problem with that. I don't agree with these people that say if you pick your dog up, you're teaching them that there is something to worry about, because there is something to worry about. I would rather pick my dog up and then try and undo that than have something horrible happen to them. So I don't know what the answer is. It's infuriating. It's annoying. people should learn to keep their dogs by their side. It damages small dogs' confidence, not just Chihuahuas, any small dog that really doesn't want a larger breed coming up and getting in their face. Now, another thing you'll get, and if I had £1 for every time I heard this, it's all right, he's friendly. People totally misunderstand why their dog is running up to another dog. It's got nothing to do with friendly. They go up to assess whether that other dog is a threat. And then once they actually start this interaction with the other dog, if it turns out that the other dog is amenable, then they might start playing. But if it turns out that the other dog isn't amenable to that, you are putting both your dog and that other dog in a very, very unpredictable situation. So everybody, keep your dog by your side. Train your dog to stay with you if they're off lead. And then perhaps it would be much safer in the fields and the dog parks and on the beaches for everybody.